Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Mega Man 6 Part 4. So we destroyed all 8 of the Robot Masters. We can now take on Mr. X. We go to Mr. X's highly futuristic looking castle. So it looks far more futuristic than any castle I've ever seen in any previous Mega Man game. And of course, it's always nighttime because the best levels are always set at nighttime, right? So I hope you guys are all ready to pay your respects and say farewell to this original version of Mega Man we're about to see here, because we're not going to see this, well, it's going to be a long time before we see this 8-bit version of Mega Man in any more games after this. This Mega Man that looks really short and cute, he almost looks like a little toddler that's just playing around. He's supposed to be in bed right now, but instead he's just playing around. His parents are yelling at him to go to bed, but he's not. Instead, he just continues to play around, and now he has even more toys, like these rush armors that he keeps wearing, these rush adapter things he keeps wearing that make him fly and punch through walls and stuff like that. Really makes him even more of a powerful hero in his mind, in his own little world that he descends into every time he's told to go to bed. And so this level has the same kind of formula that all the other Wily or whatever the main villain is of each game, but there are stages where we have to climb up ladders like in Donkey Kong. So I explained one of my earlier Let's Plays of some Mega Man game. I forget which one it was because there's way too many of them on the NES. This is a lot like Donkey Kong. Mega Man does have a lot of parallels with Donkey Kong. And so we have to, and that's exactly where we have to climb these up and jump over things and dodge stuff. And I really think they stretched out the NES way too far with these Mega Man games. They can keep releasing them. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is the exact opposite of that. The Grand Theft Auto games, they always space them out to have them released on different systems overall. They're about the same amount of games. There's currently 5 Grand Theft Auto games, but they're released over a longer series of time on a much larger amount of systems. First they're on the PS1, then they're on PS2 and Xbox, then they're on like PS3, Xbox 360, then they're on the PS4 and stuff like that, and they continue to keep going on like that. See, Capcom didn't really do that with these games. A lot of people think these games may have been better or something that could have been better if they stretched it out or spread them out more. So they're more released over, more different systems over a larger amount of time. But no, they didn't do it. They just wanted to keep pumping out Mega Man games, and they also wanted to put them all on the NES, and at this point, they still refuse to upgrade. But that's all going to be over soon. We're going to be introduced to a more mature version of Mega Man X, and there'll still be some more classic Mega Man games. There's at least going to be one more classic Mega Man game after this, which is going to be on the SNES, and then after that, they were on PlayStation, because after the SNES era, Capcom moved the Mega Man games to the PlayStation. That ladder I climbed down, that's from that alternate pathway. Yeah, even the Mr. X stages aren't even safe from alternate pathways. Almost every level in this game, except for those 4 that I mentioned earlier, pretty much have alternate pathways where you can find new stuff, but there's nothing more to unlock in this game. In most Mega Man games, or pretty much all Mega Man games I ever played in the classic series, at least the ones in the NES, I don't think there ever is anything important to unlock in the main villain's castle stage. It's trying to sound very generic. There's more than just Dr. Wily. But I don't think it's any special stuff. Mostly just stuff like E-Tanks. I do still have a monopoly of those because of how much we were given. We still got quite a few lives too, so that should be good enough. This boss is very similar to a boss from the Batman game on the NES. I did say I think some of these Mega Man games may have taken some inspiration from that Sunsoft Batman game. And Sunsoft is another company that made a lot of the best games on the NES. I still kind of like Capcom's games a bit more, stuff like this, but I know Sunsoft is good in its own right too. They were known for making very unique games like Blaster Master and that weird Batman game for the NES. They even made the Gremlins 2 game for the NES, which I guess makes sense, because Gremlins 2 is a very odd movie that has a lot of odd stuff going on in it. I just watched that movie a few days ago, because it was New Year's Eve, and I always watch that movie every year on New Year's Eve. It's a tradition I have. I always watch Gremlins 2 on New Year's Eve. Gremlins 2 is quite possibly my favorite movie ever. It is like a really good classic movie. It's way better. I think it's way better than the first one. It has better jokes in it. It has so many gags and funny stuff in it. It makes fun of 80s culture. It's filled with 80s technology. And it makes fun of how major corporate TV stations are like in the 80s, and they have people working at different departments, things like that. They have a genetics lab. It's like that whole movie was made to be some kind of video game, and yet, despite the fact I really liked the movie, I never actually played the game. I actually have a ROM of it somewhere. Maybe I should play it sometime soon. I really liked the Gremlins 1 video game. I played the Gremlins 1 video game on the Atari 2600. It's a very basic game. What do you expect for Atari 2600? The Atari 2600 was made for simplistic games. That's all it should have had. And they tried making the games a bit more complex, and that's when the Atari 2600 wasn't doing so well back when they started putting more complex games onto it. which is why the Atari 2600 kind of had a dark age around 1983 and 1984, because games were becoming way too complex in system. There's a Gremlins game on the Atari 5200 as well too, which is arguably better than the 2600 game with the same name. It's actually more like a Zelda clone, like a precursor to what Legend of Zelda could have been. It supposedly was made after the original Legend of Zelda too, rumor has it. But who could I trust? What could I trust? I know people say different things all the time. There's different release stuff and all sorts of stuff like that, so, but yeah, it's still a good game overall. Every Gremlins movie has had at least one video game, and most of them seem, from what I've seen, they seem to be pretty good overall. And now we're near the end of the NES's timeline. This game was also marketed, this Mega Man 6 game was also marketed to some other late NES games. I think Wario Woods, was another one, or what was it called? Wario Woods, and it's a puzzle game kind of thing. It's that Wario puzzle game, which is the last NES game to get an official Nintendo seal of quality release. I never actually played that one either, but I should play more NES games. Back in my early days of being on YouTube, I used to play NES games all the time, and it would usually be simpler games. Or if it was a longer game, I usually just play a few levels and talk about it, but I'm not really do that as much anymore. I mostly just play whole games, do whole Let's Plays of games I could beat now. And this boss is a complete total joke. They really slacked off of some of the bosses. That's really easy if you get those silver tomahawks to hit him, which is actually kind of hard. It's a lot harder than it looks. You really need to have really good accuracy, because it goes in a weird upwards parabola shape, which doesn't really make sense considering what a tomahawk is. But again, I know nothing about tomahawks. What are tomahawks anyway? Are they some sort of blade or some sort of weapon thing? I have no idea what they are. So, I might sound like a fool by saying that, oh yeah, it only goes in a parabola, because maybe they only go in parabolas in real life. I don't know, tomahawks fly? Are they like boomerangs or something, but they don't come back or something like that? I have no idea, and quite frankly, I don't care. What would it do for me in the long run anyways? It's not like I get a job knowing about how tomahawks work, or making tomahawks, things that are probably I don't even know what those are outside of this game. So I really doubt gets a whole job is learning how to some weapon in some game that a lot of people don't even, a lot of people aren't even fond of this Mega Man game as much. Mega Man 2 is the one that everyone's fond of. And just like in Mega Man 4, when in doubt, go right. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go on the right path. But of course, this game is a lot more forgiving and a lot more it's a lot more forgiving than Mega Man 4. It's not like if you go the wrong way in Mega Man 4, you get killed. But in this game, if you go the wrong way, you get rewarded, actually. With an E-Tank, this game actually rewards you for going the wrong way. That's something games usually punish you for, but at this point they thought, let's just make it as, and we already punished them enough with Mega Man 4 and Mega Man 5 when you go the wrong way in places. And even Mega Man 2 had stuff like that too. And everyone says Mega Man 2 is the best one ever, which I actually think Mega Man 2 is a very overrated Mega Man game overall. I remember I used to think that one was so BS. And this one I actually liked a lot more. I actually have some good memories of this game. I remember playing this game at my father's place a long time ago when I had my PS2 set up there with the Mega Man Anniversary Collection. And my father actually insisted that I play this game because he never got to play this one back in the day. You saw ads for it way back in the day, but he never actually got to play this one. He played some of the Mega Man games on the NES, but he never actually got to play this specific one, which came out, much later in the NES days. Very late in 1993, so you never got to play it. So he insisted I play it, so I never played it before either. I played it and I beat the whole game on my first time ever playing through the game, because that's how, easy a game was. But again, I was trying to form myself into a Mega Man master. At the time I was back in 2011, I was already quite the Mega Man master back then. I used to watch Nintendo Capri Sun and Clement J642, whatever his name was. I used to watch their videos a lot of time to learn how to play the Mega Man games, learn all the techniques. Yeah, because I kind of cheat. I always look at what order you should do the bosses in before I play. But again, Mega Man 6 isn't so order dependent. That's more of what makes it such a much easier game. And Mega Man's shots still go through walls in this game, which his shots always kind of went through walls. There's something that actually changed about Mega Man. Mega Man powered up. It made his shots not go through walls. Apparently the DOS Mega Man games did a similar thing to that, where his shots don't go through walls. I was watching a video about that the other day where Mega Man for DOS, which was a really big mistake. Yeah, that's right, there was a Mega Man game on the DOS that was considered to be a big mistake, and then you could shoot, and you can't shoot for walls. And some people say that's actually predicting something. That game predicted stuff that would happen in later Mega Man games. In this game, not so much, because at this point in time, it's what more could you possibly do with Mega Man on the NES? And yet, some people could argue this isn't even the end of Mega Man on the NES, because some people made ROM hacks of 8-bit versions of Mega Man 7 and Mega Man 8. So it feel like those games, if they were on the original And yes, and eventually actually went back to making 8-bit Mega Man games with Mega Man 9 and 10, which I thought Mega Man 9, we never actually played the full game. I heard it was really good, but I do think it's kind of dumb that they really took it back to how Mega Man 2 was, a complete total downgrade from what Mega Man 6 is. By making it just simply, you can't slide anymore, there's no charge shots, and it's just like Mega Man 2. They really tried hard to make it just like Mega Man 2. Kind of like how Twisted Metal Small Brawl tried really hard to be like Twisted Metal 2, and it fell flat on its face when it tried doing that. So here's the boss for this level. For some reason, it's weak against Blizzard Man's weapon, and look at that, it's just controlled by a single Met Tool. Guess these are Met Tools getting revenge on us for all the stuff we did to them. And Mr. X must be very trusting of Met Tools if you'll just put a single one in charge of some robot mech thing with arms and treads that could easily run us over. It's not even trying to do the obvious thing, which is run us over. I think probably could run over and crush Mega Man with those treads, but nah, the Met Tool's too dumb. No wonder why you lost, he's a Met Tool. He's so dumb, and Mr. X is so dumb too for putting his faith in a Met Tool. This is Ray Phoenix signing out.